Welcome back, everybody, to round four. We are going to jump right into our featured match, which is a Combre kind of mirror. One deck is a little bit bigger than the other, but it should be an interesting matchup to see these two smashing into each other. What do you think, Kate?
Yeah, none of these are what you would traditionally call big Combre. I guess you could say it is the traditional aggro deck versus the slightly bigger, aggressive mid-range deck.
Yep. And in that type of matchup, typically the aggressive or the slightly bigger deck is favored, right? That's the common knowledge heuristic. But we'll see if the more aggro one can get under.
If you can get a good opener that keeps up with your more aggressive opponent's opener, your cards will generally go over the top. Yes, that is the.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So it looks like we can see Prack's hand, Prack's holding mulligans. We could see Kroge's hands if we drop the Mulcam. Courage did not hold. But what do you think about Prack's hand? You think this is a keeper?
I'd rather shoot this to the bottom. In these kind of matchups, you really want to come out of the gate swinging. You want to see some Styre's Eyes. You want to see some Crown Watch Paladins.
Absolutely.
Some Dinosaur Nests.
Yeah.
Something on more akin these lines is a bit of
You kind of want something in the middle of those two hands, right? But this is at least you're not gambling on drawing a power off the top of the deck and still missing a turn 2 play. So
yeah, this is a bit of an awkwardly interactive hand, if that makes sense.
See how it lines up against the opponent. You know, this that Dinosaur Nest prime target for Gavel's Insight, which we talked about earlier in round 1, I believe. It will get a token out at least, but.
Desert Marshal here, getting quite decent value out of destroying this little killer token.
If it attacks. Oh, not going to attack. Going to the end of the turn.
Yeah, no need for it to attack. You can also just remove the Aegis from the thing.
Oh, it just came into play. It couldn't attack. My bad. Everybody.
Yeah. It had nothing to attack.
Yep.
Lunar Claw taking care of the Stereos real quick.
Yep. Yeah, taking care of that before it gets going, and
now you just hope for no charge token, like that one.
Oh well.
Usual Dinosaur Nest shenanigans. That's just nothing to see here.
Into the buff. That's a bit unfortunate. Yeah. Well, at least you get to eat a dino for free. You'll probably get to kill that dino nest soon.
Yeah, well, you get to play your own dino nest while keeping both Gavel's Insight and Finest Star up, which is quite nice. You could also play Furious Magnaventrix out, although I do not think that is in your interest right here, because the Scalestorm Patrol can very easily outsize you, especially because that Dinosaur Nest is still going and it'll flip very soon.
So if you were in Prack's shoes, would you not be too worried about playing this Insight? I like this attack, because then you could play the Insight for value. You know, trade with the Patrol and kill that opposing Dino Nest.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that attack. I think it's definitely the right play.
But in this case, right now, do you care about killing that token? Or kill that Dino Nest before the other token comes out? I guess you can wait and kill the Dino Nest whenever to remove the buff. But you just miss out on that one extra unit. So
we got the Holy Trinity here. Killer charge flying.
Take one of everything. Well, one of these players sporting the brand new playmat for the upcoming set, which is pretty nice looking.
Kroge going very aggressive with the Crown Watch tactic from Styre's Eyes.
That takes out that armor, meaning that Magnaventrix, is a lot tinier on the attack.
So Kroge might be tempted into attacking here. into blocking. My bad. Yeah, I think you have to Gavels inside just because this you cannot deal with the size the board size that a flipped nest will present.
You
So,
could have
yeah.
held that up, and it's a fast spell, right? So yeah, you do it on your own turn on the crackback and try to surprise eat something potentially, but
Mm. It might be a better strategy, although it is just as possible that that Kroge top decks another power and Scales on Patrol does their thing, and it does not matter much in the end.
Kroge, meanwhile, presenting a trick of their own with that one power held up. So yeah, it makes some kind of block here a bit scary. Prackalakin not going to risk it.
Hopefully to see a killer, not what we're looking for. Swing you with Magniventrix, no real reason not to.
And it could get if that were, either of the pump spells, it could just get eaten right here. So
If
Kroge would be losing that relic killing value.
Yeah, if you have a read on a trick from Cracklet, there's really no reason to block here. You're at such a huge board and life advantage. Yeah, there's job on doing nothing here on this board.
Yeah, save those tricks for when you crack back and are able to push probably a kill here.
Styre's Eye is probably pushing another Crown Watch tactic here. Yep. Which also gives Prackler the little pause window information. I believe Prackler is still alive for one more turn here.
That overwhelm on the Scale Swarm Patrol. Is Scale Swarm Patrol's being blocked by the 1/1?
Oh, is it?
So that overwhelm is going to do it.
Oh yeah, that's more than enough. I for some reason thought the 1/1 was blocking the Javan.
Well, unfortunately, there's no UI indicator to say who's blocking who after those blocks are made. But yeah, that was a pretty quick beatdown.
The aggressive deck just starting with a really awkward hand, way too controlly for their opponents. Cards that were able to are able to generate way more value over the course of the game.
Yep. Meanwhile, Kroge taking a more aggressive stance. Didn't see the more controlling cards like Defiance and Lunar Claw or any of that on their own, so they kind of switched roles for that game.
Lunar Claw would definitely have made a pretty nice difference there. Probably would have achieved lethal a couple of turns earlier. But generally, when you're staying down these kind of matchups, it really is. This is more the kind of hand that you want to see on Prackalakin sides.
The power is a little bit awkward, but I guess you could play your Didonus on 2 if you inscribe the Scale Swarm. That's then you're still not guaranteed to play your Terius on 3. It's just the way the conditions are lining up.
The power is very awkward. On the bright hand for Prackalakin, Kroge's hand is also quite awkward power wise.
Either player drawing a sigil would smooth things out. So these both look like keeps to me, and I think it'll be a little bit to see if anyone either of them stumble or if they smooth out their draws. And I think if whoever does that will start out on a great foot forward.
Yep. May the best power draws win. Kroge's shipping it to the bottom. Drawing a terrible hand, going to 6.
Another kind of lackluster hand. It does have the Gavel's Insight, which we know will line up to the Dino Nest quite well.
it is a somewhat slow hand, and this might be their downfall. The slowness of their hand, but they do have an answer for Dynamist. They do have two Desert Marshals, which line up decently well against this program with the Scalestorm Patrol in particular.
Yep.
Yep, keeping a Desert Marshal up. Both players just taking their sweet time here.
Yeah, I like playing the Nest. Then next turn you're primed for either your 3-drop plus an Empower or your 4-drop.
Playing the Desert Marshal to the board, just naked here.
Interesting. Which wants to oh, I guess if you're going to
wow, okay.
Gavels anyway, might as well get in the extra damage.
I think this is a reasonable play, especially if you're expecting something like a Scalestorm Patrol, because if the opponent gets a token, if it's a killer token in particular, it's just such a devastating situation for you. So this is already such a much more manageable board, just because of taking that really aggressive stance on Prackalakin's deck.
Meanwhile, Kroge is kind of a little bit out of gas, and Prack is set up to go big with this the power that was just drawn, making the research lab off a sketch. If things go long enough where you can start pumping power to that makes massive units.
Especially with this Furious Magnaventrix ready to go both back and forth. Absolutely. On this board. Getting it for 4 here. And playing the time sketch just to get to 5 power. Which does let you play both Magnaventrix and Desert Marshal.
Now particularly Desert Marshal and silence stack. The Magnaventrix, and that should break the stun, right? Or no, it's not locked down. I'm sorry.
No.
I'm getting a little too ambitious with my lines here. That would not work.
Don't worry.
Sorry, chat.
I have had a lot of opponents in draft play Frostback's sprite despite their best judgment, and I can assure you, I know the difference between a lock stun and a normal stun. Playing their own Magnaventrix here.
Mysterious, little cheeky bluff attack, right? It could just bounce off of Magnaventrix.
Yeah, faking a Finest Hour here.
Yep. If Kroge calls this in double blocks, though, that would trade the 2/2. Oh no, it would trade the Magnaventrix for the 5/5. Yeah. So.
Yeah, the Valor is quite a good keyword.
Yeah.
This expedition, it has a lot of very powerful cards, all very very powerful effects that can turn the board around. But this expedition is not given enough, quite enough credit for how mathy it can get. I feel. Lacking in here. Probably just gonna take a turn off to play this Justice sketch and try to get try to go over Kroge's board.
Yep. Yeah, Kroge's Magnaventrix is capable of swinging in for a lot and putting on a bit of pressure, but otherwise, the rest of it's manageable.
Oh, attacking with a Tejas there. That's not sure about that. Here we see a research laboratory activation. Swinging right away could go for a quadruple block here.
Thankfully, Prack drawing power right now, which, due to the way that pauses work in this game, Kroge is now aware that Prack drew a trick.
That Defiance is probably the most dead draw possible in Kroge's deck, apart from a power card.
Yeah, versus a Aegis and a 4-cost unit. That's not going to be
Forecast
doing
unit
much.
with endurance.
Yep.
So it cannot even use the secondary text. Cracking in for 12. We're gonna see another chump block here from Kroge. And really at this point, Prackalakin can just hang back. Just gonna play this Scrouch Paladin.
Well, that could help with the endurance, but it's not going to help with the giant stats. So
I suppose it will delay it for like a turn, but at this point,
it makes
Kraken can just
makes it stunnable now with the Defiance, so that could buy a little bit of time.
I'm not sure about doubling there. I think a use on the Terrius would have been much better. Trying to apply pressure from both sides. Interesting. No attack.
Not attacking.
Seeing a dinosaur nest here.
Line up quite nicely with this Gavel's Insight.
I
trying to do it in one shot.
Yeah, trying to do it in one shot with the Gavel's Insight. Gonna be met with a nice little surprise here, though.
Can the Insight be baited out before playing this Defiance? Just block with the 2/2.
That would be some galaxy brain level plays. Nope, just going straight for the Defiance. Which
Meantime,
buys, sorry, go ahead.
I was wondering about holding up that Gavel's Insight for the crackback, but looks like it probably wouldn't do much work.
Speaking of Gavel's Insight,
yeah, oh, that is unfortunate for Prack.
Absolutely brutal.
Prack was in the driver's seat, and all of a sudden the tables have turned.
Well, it is very much possible that they're still in control of this game as long as they are able to just keep their opponent from drawing another Magniventrix or another Gavel's Insight.
Yeah, if Prack can survive, that the Insight of their own still can give that 48-80 +2/+2 and overwhelm.
I think at this point you're just looking to basically regurgitate your hand onto the board, and just hope that your opponent does not have enough units. Either that, or they do not know how to count. Either works, really. Playing the Desert Marshal right away here, taking away the text from that Magniventrix. Oh wow, Davia!
No. Helena.
Yeah. Helena. Yeah. Look, it looks like a Davia, okay?
Yeah. with a owl face, sure. Actually, it probably looks like a Davia in the card or something, maybe right next to the owl. But yeah, that was unfortunately Prack almost tied things up at 1-1, but Kroge found the card to close things up.
Kroge had quite a couple of more outs than I originally thought.
Oh, and the whole round is done.
Wow.
These matches are fast.
we're doing speed eternal today.
Well, it looks like things wrapped up just in time for you. I believe you are going to be heading out between rounds.
Yes, I unfortunately do have previous compromises, but this was a lot of fun.
I agree. It was a lot of fun. I very much appreciate having you come on and join us for coverage. I had a blast. Thank you very much, Kate.
I'm glad to have joined, and I think we saw a variety of really interesting, very very playful decks.
Yeah,
and hopefully that continues for the rest of today and on the top 8.
Absolutely. Thank you again. We will be back very soon with round 5, which will be our last Swiss round, despite what it says in the brackets if anyone's following along on Battlefy. And then we will be back after that with our top 8. So thanks again, Kate. We will be back soon.